I had a car that needed the whole air conditioning unit redone. I didn't tell anybody. I was in a prayer service. After the prayer service, a couple came to me. They said, "We want to give you a check." They gave me the check. It was the exact amount needed in order to fix my car. When I got the car done, it was less than what the check was, so I had a little bit extra left over. God's provided for us, and it's because of us freely giving, not expecting those things back, but freely giving because of what God has done in our lives. God is so good. The least we can do is give.
Giving back and being a cheerful giver is something I feel like I want and need to do. I don't feel like compelled, like I have to. It's just I'm grateful to be able to do it.
From Old Testament to New Testament, even Jesus says in the Gospels that we should give and don't expect anything back. And then Paul reiterates it in 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and 9, where we give freely, abundantly.
As God increases in us, we want to be able to increase and pour back into his kingdom and his kingdom work.
So our daughter is now 8 years old, and she's asking those questions, why do we give? What should we give? And, we give her an allowance and we don't force it on her, but just like God doesn't force on us to give. And we just say, hey, you have your money that you have in your own wallet now, and just give whatever you want to give. And one time she pulled out a $20 bill and like, are you sure you want to give that? But, we just explained to her what it is, and she's, freely receiving it.
Just continuing to kind of plant those seeds all the time when when she doesn't want to do it. Like Caleb said, I'm not going to force you, but, just remember who our provider is. Just remember how grateful we are and how do we show gratitude.
If you've never given unto the Lord financially, it's the trust and faith in God. It's all His. All of it is His, 100%. He just asks us to give that little bit. And that little bit, that one seed, that 10% or 12% or whatever God puts on your heart to give it faithfully, obediently, joyfully give, because that's your worship unto Him.
I guess I would add to that, because I know sometimes people are nervous about giving money and what's going to, happen with that money or what it's going to be used for. My encouragement would be just don't worry about that. You do your part. You give. God sees your heart. He sees why you're giving, and whatever happens with it that's not that's not for you to be concerned about. Just be obedient in what you're feeling like the Lord is asking you to give, and He'll take care of you.
Amen. Can we give a hand for Caleb and Michelle? Let's go, guys. The presence of the Lord is with us today. He is right here in this room. And I want to say, before I even get started here, a couple weeks ago, we had a special offering. And we're leading into another series that leads into a special offering. But a couple weeks ago, the board has led this initiative for a pastor's appreciation offering. And just this last week, Morgan and I received that, and I cannot thank you enough for you guys' generosity. What that speaks to us, it's not just your support, it's your appreciation, it's your love, because I recognize the sacrifice that is, and the sacrifice that takes. And you'll never know how much that means to us, how much it has provided for us, how much it has answered prayers that are in our hidden places that God has provided supernaturally. So thank you guys for your faithfulness there. But I want to highlight, I don't know if you know the world's greatest concern. If you were to poll the entire world, what is the greatest concern of everybody? I know it. You probably, if you don't know it, you should know it. The world's greatest concern is me. Not literally Drew, it's self. I'm most concerned with me. I'm most concerned about how I vote according to what helps me the most, right? The people who I like and the people who I don't like are the people who have supported and benefited me, or the people who have made life for me harder. See, our whole worldview, our whole life is built around this central focus of me. And that's why I think Caleb and Michelle's testimony is so powerful, because it hits on, I think, financial giving is the greatest, one of the greatest forms of worship that we have today. I truly mean this, because I think financial giving is actually a better form of worshiping God than singing songs. I mean this. When we think about worship, a lot of times we think about singing songs, but here's the reality. Jesus says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And so money is actually one of the top 3 topics that Jesus talks about. It's a big deal because our money, if you've ever been to Discover, you've heard me say this. I think a modern day interpretation of this, of that same verse, is like, show me your checking account, show me your bank account, I will show you what you value. That's the modern day interpretation of where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And so when I look at giving, it's the most practical way that we actually look at our hearts. I can truly see, I can tap directly into it, and I can say, I was just talking with someone about this week, about how in the Midwest, I think we are extraordinarily good at carrying values and average at living them out. I'm there for you, bro. I got you. Whatever you need. That's so cool, man. I'm moving this weekend and I would love some help. Actually, I got a hair appointment that I'm about to schedule at the exact same time. What time? Isn't it going to be a little chilly this weekend? Oh, yeah, bro. I'll see if I can make that. Right? Like we carry, and I genuinely feel the value. And then when push comes to shove, when the rubber meets the road, I don't actually know if I truly have that same value set within me. The world's greatest concern is me, and how I handle my money reveals what truly are my greatest concerns. That is why Jesus hits this so hard, so frequently, so much. And that's why I want to talk about it, because also, I'm so grateful. I'm glad that I get a hit on this now that the pastor's appreciation offering is done. Totally done. It is off. If you go on to collectiveomaha.com/give, you cannot select the pastor's appreciation offering anymore. So now we can talk about this. We can talk about money. We can talk about this topic that Jesus shows us is so valuable, but without having any preconceived notions or perception of selfish motive, because it is not at all our goal. We didn't come up with a pastor's appreciation offering. It wasn't our idea. We don't say that this is something that we need to do. This is something that our board, our elders have done in double honor, and I'm blown away. I want to say no because I'm not good at receiving, and Femi in particular has led this charge, but all our elders have really tried to make this an emphasis. So that's why you've heard from them on that. But that's not even an option anymore. And so there's no personal benefit of this. So we get to talk about something that hits on our hearts, because I want to make sure that we're getting practical here. I want to make sure that we're hitting on life's genuine, real issues. And this is why we're hitting on this series called More Than Me. More Than Me. And it's leading us into our faith offering that's going to be happening on November 23rd. And it's going to be happening, and we are setting this goal someday, November 23rd, that we're going to be collecting an offering that is bigger than us. And we're going to get into what all this is, but November 23rd, the faith offering is all about going through Collective, being a blessing, not just for Collective, but for our community, for reaching around the world and reaching into eternity. We're going to dive into that in just a little bit. But today, the title of the sermon today is called, It's Not About Me. It's not about you. This is the type of sermon title that will get about 2.5 views on YouTube. No one likes this, but I believe that this is one of the greatest revelations that every single human being needs to have. Psychology shows that people perceive that people are looking at us and concerned about us and thinking about us a lot more than they actually are. See, it's kind of like when I look at Jesus, and when I look at what his concerns are and how does he guide me, Jesus actually directs us in, if you look at the calls, when he says, come to me, when he says, follow me, there's a lot of different calls that Jesus gives. Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. I'll give you a purpose. I will give you life. Follow me and I will transform you. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. He says, he says that if you believe, if you confess and believe, then you will be saved. It's all these really wide open door invitations to him. But what do they mean? What does it mean to truly believe in the Son of God, that Jesus is the Son of God? What does it look like? And one of the calls that Jesus gives that is some of the most nerve-wracking calls that out of all of them, this is the one that makes me the most nervous. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened. I can do that, right? I can do that. But in Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, Jesus says to his disciples, if anyone wants to come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Now, I want us to understand what this says. To take up your cross, today when we think about that, a lot of times we think about I got a cross necklace, right? I got to put a cross tattoo on my arm. And this is I want you to know that I'm a Christian and I got the symbol of hope and faith that I wear around my neck. And that is not at all what he is saying. Keep in mind, at the time, Jesus had not been crucified, buried, and resurrected. The cross had zero implications of faith. The cross represented Roman oppression, capital punishment. And when you think about the cross, you think about, I literally just last week saw some people hung up, being crucified on the cross on my way walking into town, and they'd put them up on these hills, and they say, if you come against Rome, this is what happens to you. It's a sign of death. Here's an example. Here's a modern day way of interpreting this. If anyone wants to follow me, carry your electric chair and walk with me. Gather up the firing squad and come follow me. It's this incredibly offensive, incredibly what are you saying? You want me to die? You want me to deny myself? That feels a little bit like self-neglect. See, listen, in this world, I don't know if you've noticed this trend. We are more focused on me than ever before. We are more hyper self-focused. What do you need to do? If you're feeling stressed, you know what? Pull away. Pull away. Anybody that's asking and demanding things of you, pull it away. Step away from the demands. Just focus on yourself. Read some self-help books. Give yourself as many spa days as possible. If it stresses you out, it's not a good thing. Like, just pull away. It's as much as you can, and it'll feel so good. It'll feel so good, and then I'll realize I'm isolated, and the only influence I have is whatever I happen to scroll past on my phone, and then I start to be shaped in this anxiety because I have no people around me. I have no mission around me. I have no purpose around me, and I've lost it. See, the majority of the world, we're living looking at ourselves in the mirror, right? Like, oh man, I just want to hang out right here all the time. And man, everything, man. Do I got a little? Oh no, I'm okay. Oh, hold on. Yep. Okay. I'm doing all right. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody's concerned about me. The whole world, my neighbor is probably thinking about me right now, right? So I view the world looking at me, and everything else around is just a blurry background to me. The stories around, the people around me, the tragedies I hear about is just a blurry background to the focus I have on myself. Yeah, but how much does that impact me? How much does that change me? See, our world is simultaneously more focused on ourselves than ever, and also more unhealthy than ever. Also more anxious than ever. Also more easily offended than ever. What's the worst wrong you can do to someone right now? Offend them. How self-focused are we that is it? Right? Like, we live in such a self-focused world. You make me feel sad about myself. You make me feel uncomfortable. I don't like that. Jesus would preach in such dramatically offensive ways. He would push thousands and thousands of people that are focused on following him so that they can get fed, so that they can get blessing, so that they can get to see this new cool popular rabbi that's in town, so that they can get to see these miracles, so they might get one of the miracles, right? And everybody like that, he says, then he would push them away. Like, if you want to do this for selfish means, that's not it. I need you to put down the mirror. I need you to lay this thing down, and I need you to focus on the world around you, because this is where your purpose lies. It's not about me. It's one of the most important revelations, one of the hardest lessons to learn. And here at Collective Church, we say we want to see real connection with God, real relationships with others, and real, genuine impact in our world. I want to see it. But if I'm right here, I'm never going to be able to see the things that I need to see. If my focus is right here, my eyes can only focus on what's right in front of me or what's beyond me. And if I got this right here, I'm going to be focusing right on me the whole time, all the time. I'm going to be worried right here. The first step to changing the world is actually to take our gaze off of ourselves. If I want to see God use me, if I want to see God change me, if I say, God, would you change my workplace? He's not going to do it when your big goal is for everyone at your workplace to look to you. He's not going to do it when my biggest concern is what everybody else is thinking about me, what everybody else is, how they're talking about me, what if they think I'm doing this with the wrong heart? What if I'm misunderstood? What if I offend someone? Listen, you've got a greater purpose than being concerned about you. It's not about me. It's not about me. See, this is the reality. Humility is not only one of the greatest virtues that you can carry, I believe it is the foundational virtue to seeking God, period. Through it, every other good thing comes. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. All of it comes through the doorway of humility. Why? Because James 4:6 says, God opposes the proud and gives grace to the humble. If you want to be near to God, you don't say, hey, God, come look at me. You fall on your knees. You seek him. See, the Lord is a lot like, he operates a lot like water in this sense. What does water do? It fills the lowest place. If you want to see God move in your heart, if you want to see God move in your life, become the lowest place. Seek others first. Seek him first. C.S. Lewis said it best. Humility is not about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less. It's just about, my world is not revolving around me. My world is looking towards what God is calling me to. And this is why here at Collective Church, I want to model this. Everything we do, we try to model this. When I prepare a sermon, I pray over it, I read over it, and I say, God, how am I being terrible at this first? I need to make sure I'm modeling this. What are you trying to teach me in this so that I can capture this lesson before I ever give this lesson, so I can model it, or if I can't fix it in time, then I can preach in humility, and I can preach and going, I really haven't figured this thing out, right? And I can give that away in genuine authenticity. In the same way, Collective Church as a whole, as an organization, we want to operate the same way. Scripture says that we give the first 10% of all that God has given to us. It's 100% his. I should give 100%. He says, just give me the top 10%. Just the first 10%, right off the top, that's what you give to me. And so Collective Church, we want to do the same thing. Morgan and I model this in our lives, in our finances. Collective Church, we model the same thing. 10% of what is given through the general fund gets funneled into our missions fund, what is the same thing that the faith offering is being brought into. It is all for someone else. It is not to Collective, it is through Collective. And so this is why this is our biggest financial push of the whole year. It comes at the end so that hopefully when you guys get your year end, your Christmas bonuses, your Q3, Q4 bonuses, whatever it may be, right? Like that you can go, what am I going to do with this? And the very first thing I want to think of is not me. Because that's why financial giving is such a powerful worship. Because when I give my dollar, it's not just the gift that I give. It is all the things that I could do with it that I'm choosing not to, that I'm laying at the feet of Jesus. It's his. It's not mine. It's not about me. It's not for me. And so I give this to him. And so our faith offering is all-purposed for local, global, and future impact. Our faith offering is in what we're going to be doing. I want to challenge us. We're going to have this given. In fact, you should have an envelope in the front of the seat in front of you. If you see those little holders, the envelope that has pink and blue on it says faith offering. And I want everyone to take one of these home, because this is going to be our challenge as a church, to give to something that's bigger than us. To give to something that's not just about today, that's not just about faithfulness and obedience, but it's also about generosity, going above and beyond. So last year, our faith offering goal, we set a big goal. We set $30,000 was our goal last year. That's a big goal. And we broke it by like $1,600. It was amazing. It was so cool. And then this year, generosity is like a muscle, right? Anybody work out here? Anybody work out? If you want to grow your muscles, if you want to get better, I just talked to, man, I had no clue. Chad, where are you? Chad, you used to run 50 Ks, right? Like, I had no clue. If you want to get to run distance, long distance, do you just go buy me a new pair of shoes and run out and say 50 K and I ain't stopping until then? No, you'll die. Maybe literally. Right? Like, this is not good. And so instead, what do? You start working yourself. It's like generosity is the same way. I work it out. It's a muscle that I grow. It's something that I get better at. Look at where you are in generosity right now. And I want to encourage you to stretch that a little bit further. Hit a new PR. Hit a new personal record, your personal best. How generous can you be? Because today, this year, our 2025 faith offering that we got the faith for is set to $35,000. Can we do it? Can we do it? Come on. It's taken generosity to get us to $30,000. It'll take us even more generosity. Now, $35,000 seems like a ton. Look around the room. We don't have an insane amount of people here. It is going to take a ton of generosity. It's going to take, and this is, keep in mind, this is above and beyond the tithe. If you have not given, if you do not have a tithe or regular gift set up to the church, I want you to first pray into that. And then pray into your above and beyond, okay? Your faith offering. What are you going to do there, okay? So this is how $35,000 breaks down like this, okay? If we had one person that was able to give an insane gift of $5,000, write a check. I know there's multiple of you in this room right now that could write that check and go home and you wouldn't miss a single coffee because of it, right? Well, I know we got, and then it would look like 2 people at $2,500, 5 people at $1,000, 6 people, $750, 10 people at $500, 20 people hitting $250. This is going to take generosity. This is going to take getting uncomfortable. This is going to take doing something hard. 30 people at $100, 50 people at $50. Guys, where were you last year on this? And I want you to look at the next level up. Keep in mind, this is not, there's no, you can't go, oh, what you doing, Pastor Drew? You're challenging me in like my money. You can't tell me what to do. You're right, I can't. You go to the Lord with this. That's why we're giving the envelopes right now. This is all him. I want to challenge you to stretch your faith. This is a faith exercise, and it's not coming for the sake of us. It's coming for the sake of what God has called us to do to impact our world, to take our eyes off of ourselves and to look beyond us. We're doing this in a couple different ways. We're seeing our faith offering $35,000. Where's it going to go? First $15,000 is going to go to future. It's going to go to our building campaign. I believe that God's called us not to be in Millard North forever. I love it. I love that we have a basketball camp tournament going on literally right now. Isn't that so cool? We get to be in our community. Before you leave, find someone that doesn't go to church here, smile at them, invite them. Right? Like, where else do you get this opportunity that people are accidentally walking into church and have no clue about it? People who may need hope like you don't even know, or maybe like you once did. Come on. Right? So, but I believe we got a building. I love this season we're in, but I believe God's got a building in our future that's going to be a blessing to our community, and our community is going to drive by it and say, man, I'm so glad that Collective Church is here. Our community would not be the same without this church here. I believe it. So that's into the future. And then our second, the $15,000 to local and global outreach. This is a lot. We packed a whole bunch of stuff into here. Okay, so this is Millard, when we give our gifts to Millard North teachers, when we support and we're just, how can we help here at the school? We want to be a blessing here, not just a burden that they have to clean up after. Amen. This is for things like extravaganza. This is for mission trip support. We got a big mission trip that we're going to Thailand next year for being able to help some people in that, be able to give some scholarships for that. Then we've got also a big outreach that we're doing. We're going to be talking about that right after. Keep your ears out. It's a Christmas giving tree outreach that we're doing. This should help out with that. And also missionary support. We had $5,000 increase that we're able to give to missionaries locally and globally. We were able to pick up new missionaries. We were able to go out to the TV. Right beside the TV, you'll see all our missions focuses that we have, all our missions impacts that we have. And so what do? We support these global workers. I want to make sure that we are reaching to the unreached. If we are a church, if you had to drive by a church in order to get to Collective Church today, then we need to reach out to the places that don't have that option. Amen? So this is local, global outreach that we have. And then last one is $5,000 to Project Rescue. This is a new organization I am so excited to support. Project Rescue is an organization that specifically helps in preventing, restoring from, and intervening in human trafficking. One of the greatest evils in our world today. They are reaching in so many different countries. We're going to be highlighting some information, but I want to give a quick video right here for us to be able to see a little bit about who is Project Rescue.
There is not one nation in our world that is not impacted in some way by sexual slavery. Drugs, guns, these other things you sell once, but a human being you can sell over and over and over.
The problem of trafficking keeps growing. Traffickers find new ways to traffic women and children, and they're looking at poor villages and poverty.
It is in every state, it's in every city, in every community. I have 2 daughters, and when I think about them being vulnerable and someone using them in the worst possible way, that makes me angry, and I can do something to make sure that someone else's daughter isn't in that same spot.
How can we stand by and not speak on behalf of those who are victims of injustice?
You should be dreaming about your future. You should be playing with friends. But this is what you've been forced to do through no fault of your own.
The only way for us to really get ahead of the problem is to take more children out of that area.
It's up to the church, it's up to organizations to stand up for those who can't speak for themselves.
God's heart is for those who are sexually exploited. He knows every girl by name, and he has good purposes for that daughter.
Project Rescue works through 3 approaches: prevention, intervention, and restoration.
The amount of trauma and challenges that a woman or child faces after being trafficked is so difficult.
So prevention is helping churches be aware. How can we give them information about how traffickers work?
Educating women, families, that protects them. But also removing a child from a dangerous situation, like in Southern Asia, trying to get a child out of the brothel before they've been sold.
We go into the red light district. So we have an outreach team that walk the street. Is there a new girl being trafficked? Is there a new woman being trafficked?
Let's prevent this from happening on our watch.
Intervention looks very different in the different countries and cultures in which we work. What we try to do is meet a woman or child where they're at and see how can we best build a relationship with them and get them to a safe place to begin their healing journey.
Intervention is so important because we got to take that child out. Because the child is living in that situation where the mother is working in the red light district. We say, hey, why don't you just give us the child? We'll keep them for the day. We'll send them to school. Then we talk to them and say, hey, can we take you out of the red light district?
It could be a safe home for children. It could be an immediate shelter for women.
We offer English classes. Here's classes to teach you how to sew, teach you how to make jewelry, maybe start to make a little money on your own.
And we intersect between them and their trafficker in those different communities, in those different situations. Project Rescue is meeting them where they're at and providing them a way out. Prevention and intervention are the tip of the iceberg. It's above the surface. For restoration, 90% of what we do is below the surface.
Restoration begins after physical rescue to a safe place, where that journey can begin to healing and rescue of the whole person.
She's gonna need medical care. She is gonna need therapy and counseling to work through the trauma. She's gonna need a community of faith around her to support her. We have to give her the tools that she needs to start a new, healthy life, a life that she can be proud of.
So that little girls can not just be out of a brothel, but they have spiritual deliverance and freedom.
Project Rescue exists for transformation. There are those that don't have a voice. There are those that are marginalized. God sees them. He sees every single one of them. I believe God is calling each and every one of us to walk shoulder to shoulder, to say yes, to link arms and say, we're gonna stand in the gap. We exist to step in to be that voice for them.
Come on, we can give a hand for that. My biggest impact, my biggest hurdle to real impact is not that the problems around me aren't big enough. It's not that I'm incapable of making a difference, but that I'm so enthralled and focused on myself that I can't, that everything else is but a blurry background. We've got to set this down. Look at the world around you. See it from the heart of a father looking at his children that he created and says, I see you. Maybe he's saying that to you right now. Maybe he's saying to you, I know we have people that here in this room that may have gone through something similar. I know we have had people at Collective Church that have been trafficked before, that have had a history of this and have escaped, but with scars. I want us to see the world beyond ourselves and our concern for what we're eating for lunch right after this, and our concern for how many coffees I get to have this week. I want us to live a life that looks beyond my own nose so that I can reach out to see change because of a simple gift, simple obedience with simple sacrifices, but that begin to reframe my very heart. That's what financial giving does. If you do so consistently enough, and if you continue to allow for this, you'll start to see your heart shift. It'll first maybe just be an action, and then it'll start to become an ownership, a conviction that you carry. So, can everybody grab an envelope and let's stand up here real quick. Go ahead and grab one of those faith offering envelopes. Can someone hand one to me as well? Thank you, Lori. All right. What I want us to do is it's simple. I want you to write your name on this, and I want you to leave the amount blank right now. I don't want you to write a check yet. I don't want you to put any cash in that. I want you to take this home. And what we're going to do is if you're married, discuss with your spouse, what are we going to give? But actually, before that, I want you to pray. I've heard so many times, so many stories of couples. This happens to Morgan and I pretty much every year. We'll say, okay, pray about it. I'll pray about it. What are we going to give above and beyond? And we separate, and then we come back together the next week, and we're like, I've fasted, I've prayed. Here's the number I have in my head. What number do you have? And it's almost always, if it's not the same, it's really stinking close. And we meet in the middle, or we go with a more generous option. And this is what I want to encourage us to do. I want to encourage us to take a step of radical obedience. I want to see us be able to give way more than $5,000 to Project Rescue. I want us to see us give above and beyond $35,000. I want to see us as a church learn to strengthen our generosity muscle. Because it's not about me. Now, here's the crazy thing about this. Philippians chapter 2, verses 5 through 8. We're called to model this. It says, have the same mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus. When we're talking about humility, who do we look to? We don't look to me. I look to him. Who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself, taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. Listen, if God himself can, the creator of the universe, the one who all glory is due, if he models humility like no one I've ever seen, then I must. I want to call us into this. And I want to encourage, because there's some, and so for the majority of us in here, you've already got your takeaway. How can I set down the mirror? And what am I going to give? How am I going to practically actually put this into action? But there's also some of you in this room that I believe that the whole idea of setting down the mirror is like a first time ever, and you're like, this is kind of rocking my world. I've pictured my everything through the lens of me. What helps me? What benefits me? How do I look? How do people like me? How we talked about this a couple weeks ago about false humility, about how much do people think I'm humble, right? Like this, all of it is centered around me. And what if I actually uncomfortably, in a way that doesn't benefit me, but actually may hurt me? What if I actually do something that with that level of generosity? I want to challenge us into that. And for those of you in this room, I believe God is calling some people in here. As Morgan already highlighted, there's some of you in here that God, the money is just, that's not the big deal for you. Don't even worry about it. This is your first time. I don't even want you to worry about this. You don't have to give. Like, don't worry about this. Pray. You can pray about it if God wants to call you to do that. But I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to receive the free gift of the gospel. Because right now, it's not, for some of you in this room, this has nothing to do with money. This has everything to do with your heart. And it's time to give that to the Father. It's time to turn away from all the pursuits that you've had. It's time to get your eyes off of yourself, to set the mirror down and to look to Him and to see that this whole time He has been looking at you. He has been seeing you, that He's got more for you than what is directly in front of you. He's got more for you. He's got a purpose for you. He's got life for you. And guess what? It's going to demand a surrendering of your own life, and you must lay it down. You must respond to the call of the gospel to say, it is no longer me who lives, but Christ who lives in me. I will take up my cross. I will carry my electric chair. I will take up this. I will deny myself, and I give my life to him. I give my life to him. Drew is dead. It is now Christ who lives in me. It is now his concerns that I'm concerned about. It is now his convictions that I'm convicted by. It is now his heart that moves my heart. And if that's you in this room, would you take a second of boldness and throw your hand up? Maybe you threw your hand up when everybody else's eyes was closed, but I want to see right now. Would you take a second of boldness? Come on, I see you. Come on. It's time right now to turn towards the Father. He is right here for you. It is time. Anybody else? Anybody else in this room? I saw one hand. Come on, I see two. That's it. Come on. That's the boldness. That's it. He sees you. He sees you. Can we say a prayer real quick? Can we do this? What I want to do is I want to have every single one of us, maybe you didn't raise your hand, but you know that this is true for you. And what I want to do is I want to guide us in this prayer. And the prayer starts in the same way. I take down the mirror and I say, Father, go ahead and repeat after me. Say, Father, I am sinful. I've been so focused on me. Would you help me to set down my mirror? Would you help me to shift my eyes towards you? Would you help me to see who you've called me to be? I give my life to you. My today, my tomorrow, and until the day I die, I am yours and yours alone. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Come on. Can we give a hand for the Lord? Let's go. If that was your first time, you don't even understand how powerful, maybe first time in a long time, you don't understand how powerful what just happened inside of your heart is. But we can see it and dismiss it. You can walk out of this room and find that nothing actually ever changes. I don't want that for you. So what I'm going to ask is right up here, we got Ola and Russ right up here, right by this big banner that says prayer. Please come find them. Please come talk with them. Please pray. You don't do this alone. Don't do this by yourself. Don't leave unchanged. Come on. Can we do that? And everybody else, let's go. We're taking this, we're praying over it, and we're going to see a generous gift on November 23rd. Amen? Amen. Come on, let's give a hand for the word of the Lord.
Hey, thanks so much for watching today's message. Our prayer is more than the words that were spoken in the message, that you would remember the things that God spoke to your heart.
Yeah, no matter what it was that God spoke to you, I know that part of your journey is other people, being in a community, because we are better together. So if you made a decision to follow Jesus today, would you click the link below and fill out the form? This is going to help us so that we can celebrate with you and equip you with some tools so that your next steps are great steps.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. We're praying for you. We're cheering you on. We believe that the best days are ahead of you.